Do not forget, on DraftKings Sportsbook this season, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $150 in bonus bets instantly, plus all customers can get a no-sweat same-game parlay every single day. Download the app and use the promo code PFTLive when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. The prop bets are ours, at least for discussion purposes. We don't bet officially. It's funny, I still have Bengals fans. When I talk about, when I write about, when I think about this Joe Burrow, what was hidden, what wasn't hidden. And I don't want to take us down the rabbit hole on this, but they're like, oh, you must have lost a bet. We don't bet. We're not allowed to bet. I have no desire to bet. I don't believe I can figure out how to win. So I don't do it. I don't go there. But there are other ways you can bet other than betting on the winner of a game or who covers the spread or who fails to. Prop bets. Let's start with Broncos, Texans. Both teams 6-5. Both teams trying to get into the postseason in the AFC. Both teams unlikely candidates for the playoffs when the season began. CJ Stroud's over-under for passing yards, Christopher, is 263.5 yards. Stroud has gone over that in 4 straight games. He leads the league with 296.9 per game average this year. Are you over or under? And it's relevant because the Broncos have put the clamps on quarterbacks since week 6.
Yeah, week 6 was the Thursday night game with Mahomes and Kansas City, right? And it was 19-8, and yeah, he threw for 300 yards, but it was underwhelming. The other only impressive performance you see passing the ball, we know Tua did it with the 70 points, and Justin Fields earlier in the year. It's all early in the year, though, right? I mean, this is a different Denver defense. Credit to Vance Joseph and Sean Payton. And I mean, C.J. Stroud's unbelievable. I mean, what he did the other day, he went into I'll carry the team mode against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Under pressure, like throughout the football game. People not open and continue to buy time and find ways. He is a budding superstar. We're watching it. I'm going to take the under, though. I am. You know, I do believe in what Denver's doing as far as their pass defense, and I think I look at this game and go, you know, if Houston's going to win and do this, I think it's a game where their rushing attack is going to move Denver and cause some problems, and then maybe C.J. Stroud throws for like 240 or 245. So I'm kind of taking the under and looking at it from that angle.
Yeah, I think Dameon Pierce finally healthy. Devin Singletary's been great, and we've seen that the Broncos are vulnerable to potent running games. So run the ball, dial it in. I'm with you, under for the 263.5 passing yards. Lions are at the Saints, and the Lions had an embarrassing showing on Thanksgiving. Jared Goff had 3 fumbles to go along with 3 interceptions just a few days earlier. The over-under on Goff interceptions in New Orleans on Sunday is 0.5. 0.5. He did have 0 last week, but he had 3 fumbles.
Right.
And the Saints have 14 interceptions this year, second most in the NFL. Are you basically willing to say Jared Goff won't throw a pick this weekend?
No, I'm not. I'm going to say he does. Now, the thing that works in his favor is the Saints can't get after the quarterback. They have no big-time pass rusher, right? They will have to blitz to get there and do that. Now, where I think the interception happens is the Saints, they can play some man-to-man. They can. And I'm going to bet that Jared Goff throws one ball off target a little bit and ball gets tipped in the air or whatever. But, yeah, they got some young talent or some talented guys in that Saints secondary. Watch this Paulson Adebo. He was one of my favorite corners in the draft 2 years ago out of Stanford. He's phenomenal. He's the best corner on their football team. Even when Marshawn Lattimore's healthy, the best corner on their football team is Paulson Adebo. He will match up with Amon-Ra St. Brown and be on the island and do that. But I'm going to go over here, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to go over as well. All it takes is one, and we see Jared Goff just – he's been knocked a little wobbly, and I don't know that he's going to get it back that quickly. It's going to be a slow process if it ever works at all. Colts 6-5 at the 4-7 Titans. Zach Moss stepping in as RB1 with Jonathan Taylor out multiple weeks after thumb surgery. The over-under for Moss is 75.5 rushing yards. He has cleared 70-plus yards in 4 of 5 starts this season. Do you think they ride him sufficiently enough, and can he run it well enough to get over 75.5?
I do. No Jonathan Taylor, like you said. The blue wall is in effect right now. They're playing awesome up front, the Indianapolis Colts. You've heard me say a few times over the last month, right? Shane Steichen, other than Shanahan and maybe Mike McDaniel, I think it might be the most creative run game designer in football. And he's so good at everything else that even with the Titans, who have a pretty good run defense, right? They can't just go, oh, we're going to go all in and stop the run. Shane Steichen knows how to, you're playing run defense. He knows how to get people open and call pass plays off of that. And Gardner Minshew, we know, is playing well too. So, yeah, I expect the over here from Zach Moss.
Yeah, I do as well. And look, the Titans did get a win last weekend and ended the Carolina coaching career of Frank Reich, but I don't think the Titans are ready and able to meet a Colts team that's won 3 in a row, and they're just quietly. They're currently locked in at the 7th seed, but they're just kind of quietly there. And Shane Steichen, as you said, when do we start mentioning him as a potential coach of the year?
Right.
If he could take the Colts after losing Anthony Richardson and piecing this thing together and having all the turmoil with Jonathan Taylor, and he missed the four first games of the year because of the contract thing and the ankle thing and now the thumb thing. And if they can find a way to the playoff party in the AFC, that says a lot about Steichen as a coach, and it's a bright future for the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. All right. The 8-3 Dolphins, after playing on Black Friday, they head to Washington. You may want to shower before you go, and you may want to wait to get home to take a shower because at FedEx Field, who knows whether or not they're going to be working. But Tyreek Hill will be working, over-under of 97.5 receiving yards. Every time I see these numbers from him, I'm like, do people not know how good he is? Like, who's betting the under on 97.5
right.
against the Commanders?
Right.
As their defense is in shambles, and they just fired their defensive coordinator, and they're just trying to hold on through the end of the season. 97.5 is the over-under. Watch, you'll probably have 95. But I'm going over. Guys on pace for the first 2,000-yard season ever for receiving yards. It's over. It's over.
It's like you want to laugh at it. Like, of course it's over. Of course it's over. The Commanders' defense sucks. I mean, what is there to talk about? It stinks. It's so disappointing. I totally expect an over here. It's one of the worst pass defenses in football. They don't have the pass rush to match along with it any longer. They're fighting still. I'll give them credit there, but this is a different animal they're going to be playing with this weekend. So, yeah, I'm expecting an over here with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, and I'm told that the firing of Jack Del Rio was not a precursor to firing Ron Rivera if they get embarrassed at home by the Miami Dolphins. They do go into their bye next week. It would be the ideal time to make a change if they want to pivot to Eric Bieniemy for the rest of the season. I'm told that ownership believes Ron Rivera has done enough to deserve the opportunity to finish the season and have a full evaluation. Then I wrote about that last Friday or Saturday on PFT. I still think if it's ugly, if it's nasty, if it's 45-10 again, I think that opinions potentially change, and you really don't know that until you live through it, until you're David Tepper exiting the locker room shouting the F word. We'll see. We'll see if there's any – that's now the thing to watch. That's now the clock striking 12 for the coach. Any account of an owner leaving a locker room and yelling the F word means that the coach is getting fired the next day.
Yeah,
we now know that. So, reporters in D.C., keep an eye out for Josh Harris dropping F-bombs or Magic Johnson dropping F-bombs after the game on Sunday. That may mean that the next day is going to be a bad one for the head coach.
I feel like they're reluctant to do that, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to sign Ron Rivera, and it feels to me like because they don't want to be stuck with Eric Bieniemy or be stuck in that conversation or cornered into it. That's what it feels like, right? So I don't really know there why that is, right? I think I said last week I thought he would have got fired before the Thanksgiving Day game if they didn't have a Thanksgiving Day game, right? But I get the sense, too, that they want to keep their options open and they don't want to go, hey, Eric Bieniemy be the head coach, and then all of a sudden it's kind of good, and then they're, oh, no, we kind of have to go to him. That's what I get the sense is going on in Washington. That everybody knows that's what everybody's going to be looking at, and there's going to be such pressure on that situation if Bieniemy does take over and there is success and they look good, that I don't think Washington wants to be cornered into, oh, no, now we have to hire him as the head coach. So we'll see where that goes, but I think that's certainly part of their process in Washington.
If you're considering him as an option, there is an argument to be made that giving him an opportunity to audition for the job on the job makes sense. But there is a concern that I generally have about interim coaches. They provide enough of a spark to get a team to try to win so that the interim coach will stay, because I'd rather have the guy I know than some stranger who comes in and maybe trades me or cuts me or doesn't want me, or I don't fit, or it's just going to be different. It's going to be a different attitude. I don't want that. I'm going to play hard the last few weeks of the season. We're going to rally around the desire to help the interim coach stay, and then we'll go back to being a mediocre team next year. That's always a concern. So, maybe that's what's motivating it. I don't know, but I'm told that they've decided that Ron Rivera deserves to get through the end of the season for a full evaluation, and then they'll figure out where they're going to go from there. But I can't imagine major changes not coming to the Washington Commanders. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.